All right, guys, in this project, we're going to be using Photoshop to complete the dream landscape. And in the dream landscape, we're going to be learning about selection tools in Photoshop. So we're going to start by getting the files from my website. It's called the selection tools / dream landscape. And this is the zip file. So go ahead and click download. And you notice it downloads this zip file folder. And once it's downloaded, go ahead and click on it. It's going to open this up. And what we want to do is extract all. I'm not sure where you're going to see it on your end. I don't know if you see it exactly like mine, but if I click extract all, I get the option of where I'm going to put this. I'm just going to keep it in the download folder, extract. And what it does is now it puts all of the pictures in a format that we can work with. So I'm going to go ahead and click. Actually, at this point, I'm going to go to Photoshop. So let's say we don't know where Photoshop is on your computer. Click on the Windows. Look through here. You should see Adobe Photoshop 2021. So click that open. So we're in Photoshop now, and then we're going to go File, Open. And we want to go navigate to the download folder, and you'll see this is the zipped folder. So this one is not going to open up the images. We need to have the uncompressed one. Here's my folder, Dream Landscape. Let's click in there once, twice, and we're going to start with Dream Landscape. So click Open, and here is our picture. So we're just going to be putting everything into this. This is our Dream Landscape. Let's go ahead and get our second image. So we're going to go File, Open, and we're going to open up the rows. All right, and I've given you some directions here. It says use the quick selection tool to select the rows and then add a layer mask. So over here in our toolbar, we have a bunch of different options. You might be seeing your toolbar looking kind of like this. I prefer to see it long ways like this. So the fourth tool down, if I click and hold down, there are more tools underneath here. So the first one is the object selection tool. Then we also have the quick selection tool and the magic wand. So I want to use this middle one, this quick selection tool. I'm going to click on that and you'll see my icon is kind of like this. And then I'm going to just drag around the petals of this rose here. So I'm going all the way around here, and if it looks like this, you realize, oh, I still have this selection in the middle. So I'm just going to click and drag over that. I just want there to be one selection line all the way around the exterior of the flowers. All right, and now that I have it like that, then I'm going to add a layer mask. So it looks like this. I gave you that icon. It's over here, over in our layers palette at the very bottom. It looks to me kind of like a rectangle of the circle, or you might say an old camera. So I click on that and it removes the background. It hides it. It adds this layer mask. Now what I can do is I can go to my move tool. That's the first one up there. And if you hover over things, it gives you a little preview of what it does. Here's my move tool. Now, if you're using the trackpad, it makes it a little bit more tricky. So you're going to need to click and hold down and then use your finger on the trackpad to move it over. So on the mouse, I'm going to click and hold down. So I'm holding down on my left click button the whole time. And then I'm going to drag it all the way up to the other tab, my picture here. And I'm still holding down on my button as I bring it down. And then I let go and it drags it over here. So that's how we drag from one of the canvases into the other. Now at this point, the rose comes in really big. I don't need it to be this big in my scene. So I'm going to go Edit, Transform, Scale. And then I'm going to shrink this down. I'm going to grab at the corner. I'm just going to shrink it down so it's a lot smaller. It's a lot more manageable because we're bringing in more images. Then I'm going to click this check box, or I can also hit Enter on the keyboard. All right, let's go ahead and get the next image. File, Open. We're going to open up our third image. We're going to get this hand. All right, so it opens up like this. I'm going to go to my selection tools. I'm going to use my magic wand. So I click and hold down, and there's the magic wand. So it's right here. And I'm just going to select the outside of the image. So I'm going to click here. And now it didn't get everything. So if I hold Shift, I get a plus. I can keep adding to my selection. So I'm holding plus again. And now I've got a nice selection. So let's go ahead and add my mask. Now I did that kind of on purpose. So what I did there was I selected the background and then I put the mask on it. So, but I need to inverse it. So let's go back. So let me show you how to undo something. If you go to Edit, Undo, we go back a step. What we need to do with my selection here is go to Select and then Inverse. Okay, so now I've got my selection on the hand. Now when I click on my layer mask, I get the effect that I'm wanting. So I'm going to go over to my move tool again. I'm going to click and drag and hold down. I'm going to bring this all the way up to this tab, and then I let go of the button on my mouse. Okay, so let me show you some features here. So the hand comes in, it's kind of big, it's a little bit awkward. Let's go to edit. Now let me show you this. There's transform where we pick them individually, or there's also free transform. There's also control T. So let me show you. If I just push control T on my keyboard, I get that feature that pops up. So then I can go over here to my, I'm going to rotate this. I'm going to spin it around. I'm also going to go to the corner and shrink it down a lot. And I'm going to put it over in the corner here. So maybe I'll rotate it a little bit more. Okay, so now I got this weird hand coming out of the sky. So I'm going to hit my check mark, and I'm good. I've placed it. So let's go on. Well, actually, while we're here, let me show you another feature. I can duplicate this layer. If I just go over here and grab this layer, and I click and drag down to here, I duplicated it. So now there's two. Now looking at it, we don't see that, but let's drag this one away. You see I have two hands. So here's another feature that's kind of cool. I can go edit, transform, flip horizontal. Okay, so now it looks like these two hands are coming from heaven or something. I don't know, some weird scene. I realize it's a bit of a weird scene. Let's say I want the rows to be in the palm of the hand. Well, I need to move them around in my layers. I need to bring this one up above and put this in here. Okay, let's duplicate rows. And for the sense of symmetry, we'll do that as well. Now, I'm just showing you some features. You don't have to do the exact same scene as mine. Yours can look different. Let's go File, Open, and let's get the branch. File, Open. Okay, so this comes in. Now let's go to let's click and hold down and use the Object Selection tool. So I'm going to drag over this, a big box over the whole thing, and it does a pretty good job. Okay, so then I'm just going to hit my layer mask, go to my Move tool, and drag this over into here. So the branch comes in. Okay, the branch is really big. Let's shrink it down. Control T. I can go edit, transform, free transforms. A lot of different ways to do things in Photoshop. Control T. More than one way usually to do something in Photoshop. Shrink this down. So let's just say, you guys are saying some of these objects you're not into that much. Do I have to use them? Yes, incorporate them. They don't have to be large, and maybe you want to kind of make them small and put them in the corner if you're not into it. I just want to see that you're using all the different selection tools and you know how to bring things in. All right, let's get to the next thing. File, Open, and then the deer. Okay, so here's the deer. This one, at this point, I'll let you choose which one you want to do. I'm going to use the Object Selection tool and make a box around here. This does a pretty good job. Okay, and then we're going to hit the layer mask, go to my Move tool, and drag and drop. Okay, so this comes in, it's kind of big. Control T, shrink it down. Maybe you're just like, man, the deer, I don't know what to do with this thing. Here's another bonus feature in the layers. The second option down, it says normal. These are different blend modes. So you can blend this different you use the different blend options. I'll just put it to overlay and just kind of, whoops. It changes the way that it interacts. Now it's blending with the pixels beneath it, and it makes it so that it's not as pronounced. So I can put it in the corner there. Let's see, do I have another? I think I got one more thing I need to edit. The pearl, okay? So let's open up the pearl, and I'm gonna go to the second tool here, the elliptical marquee tool. And I gave you these gray lines so that if you put your cursor right there and then you click out and drag, if you hold shift, you'll get a perfect circle. Okay, so there's my circle. I can use my arrow keys to just make this a little bit smaller than the pearl and it'll come out fine. And hit the layer mask. Let's go to the move tool, grab this, drag it over there. Okay, so drag and drop. Now again, you might say that's too big. Control T, shrink it down. I've already showed you the blending mode, so let's see what happens if we blend this. We put it in an overlay or something. There we go, soft light. Now it looks like some planet in the sky. Okay. So at this point, I have everything that's placed in here. Now take some time to make it a little bit more artistic, personalize it, come up with something that's kind of interesting for you. But that's how we use the different selection tools to remove the background and bring things in together. So I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. And if you have any questions, just send me something in the chat. All right. Thanks, guys.